Hey, top of the morning to you. I'm Michael. The grandkids call me Roo. Thanks for being on Roodoodles Live, 8:57. It's Monday morning somewhere in the world. I think it's September the 13th. Is that right? Is that right? I have to look down and see. Yep, it's 13th. Okay. Had to look down and see what the number was there. You know, they all run together after a while. That's a good thing. Don't let the day. Oh no, unless you have a birthday to celebrate, which Carol keeps me up with all the birthdays of people. She goes, you know it's somebody's birthday? And I go, really? She said, it was last week. Did you call them? I go, no, I didn't know. She says, why don't you keep those on your calendar? And I go, calendar? What's that? Anyway, welcome to the Roodoodles Live. Hey, I'm glad you're here. For those of you who just joined me, you know, that guy, I saw an email the other day that said, you know, that guy, I worry about him. He had on a pair of glasses. He had a pair of glasses on his head, and there was a pair of glasses lying on the desk. What is his deal? And you don't know? Oh, I sell glasses. Not really, I don't. But I do keep up with a lot of pairs here. So let me just show and talk about there. See, there's a pair, there's a pair. These are not even the pair that I'm wearing. I could wear this pair, I guess. Haven't worn these in a long time. The blue ones, they look kind of sophisticated. Okay, I'll just wear those today. Let me get these off, get these on, put these on my head. There, they don't feel like I'm going outside with my sunglasses on or something. So there we go. Just a little rearrangement this morning. Here, I got to put this cable around my neck. I keep that on there because I go in and out to projects. I can see the camera way out there, but I can't. I can see here, but it just gives me a little better detail. So that's the deal. They're readers and they're peepers. They're not a sponsor yet. I've sent them a note, but they don't respond. They're like those people who say, "Hey, we don't care." And they might care, but they've got a good client. They don't need a rooster painter. They might need a watercolor painter, though. Hey, there's something not right here, though. Let me just clean these just for a second here because they seem to have. They probably have some cookie batter on them. I made cookies, and I just ate the last one. I hate to tell you, I couldn't share it through the live stream show anyway, but man, were they good. And I just had one for breakfast this morning. They were oatmeal. Okay, that's good for breakfast. They were raisins, cranberries, walnuts. Those three things are good for breakfast. Butter, fresh butter, Kerry Gold butter from Ireland. Well, in this case, from Trader Joe's. Not cheap Joe's. Got a lot of Joe's in my life. Oh my gosh, that's better. All right. So anyway, I had a cookie for breakfast. Man, you know, the best oatmeal raisin cookie in the business, I think. And I've been making oatmeal raisin cookies for many years. It's like biscuits. I get on a kick and I try to just do the best biscuit just with the frozen butter chunks and bake them while the butter's still in there to leave those spaces, and don't roll them with a rolling pin. Knead them with your hands. That's not the cookies. The cookies, I doubled the recipe. I put Madagascar vanilla. Carol mixes vanilla beans with the Madagascar and lets it age in a bottle, a touch of bourbon. Anyway, it's just beautiful vanilla. The whole deal is the best recipe that I've ever found, and I don't put cinnamon in them. I know some of you love cinnamon. You go, oh, give me that cinnamon. I don't want cinnamon in my breakfast in the morning. I don't want cinnamon. I like cinnamon hard candy, but I don't want cinnamon baked in anything. So I make them to suit myself because I'm the one that eats them and gives them away. But I made 4 dozen last week. But the point is, the best recipe I've ever found is on the old-fashioned oatmeal box, not instant. Don't do instant grits. Don't do instant oatmeal, for heaven's sakes. Come on, cook the grits. I mean, instant oatmeal or instant grits. It's on the old-fashioned box, you know, the one with the guy that used to look like Wilford Brimley on there, and you rip off the top, and the recipe is right there on the bottom. It says Vanishing Oatmeal Cookies. And I cheat that recipe. I don't use dark brown sugar. I use light brown sugar because I don't want the molasses taste. I love molasses. I just don't want it in my cookies. Crazy stuff that I you just get into and you bake. And so baking cookies like a wild man. Got some fun little pieces to catch up on here this morning. Let me say hello to you. I moved the camera around, so I'm leaning way over here a little bit to say hi, but I'm still here. Sally Ann Smith, thanks for being on the show. And Randall Taylor Craven, thank you for being here. Didn't you love this piece of music? I'm going to play it again right here. Just in the background while I say hello. I think it's playing, is it? Oh, yeah, there it is. Good morning, Dorothy Beasley, Barbara Mayer, Barb Hendrick from the High Octane Cornfields. You know, high octane. Did you know that ethanol comes from corn? Yeah, so you can make gasoline from corn. Lori Stanley Henderson, Handelmeyer. Thanks for being on the show today. Chris Whitaker. Jean Anthalzer, thanks for being on the show. Karen Bender, Sharon Clark, there she is. Good morning to you. Beautiful little painting there in your poster. Donna Sell Barton, blessings. The one and only Coffee Cowboy from the mountains of Veracruz, saying morning and a flick of the filbert to you. Hey, you're one crazy human being, and I like your style, man. And keep being out there. Keep being excited about life. John Robert Small, thank you. Pat Brooks, the emoji queen from the history of the world. Pat actually sent me an email, and it took me 8.5 minutes to read it because, I have to stop at each little emoji and figure out what it is she's saying. I'm just kidding. Thank you much, Pat. Of course, dear artist friend that we've never met personally, it'll be a day when we do. We'll snap a shot, and I'll post it on the page. One of these days when COVID's over and we are close. She's in South Florida. I'm here in Charlotte, but she's the artist of the book Noodle Doodle Fiddle Piddle. And she's mailed out a ton of them to people and to some advertising. And listen, if you want the book, find it on Amazon today, or you can, I still have some here. I just ordered some to replace a few that I had 2 lost in the mail. Got those replaced. I've got a couple here. Noodle Doodle Fiddle Piddle is the book. And hey, look, it's good for what ails you. It's more than just a watercolor book. In fact, if you don't buy the book, if you think it's going to teach you how to paint watercolor, teach yourself how to paint watercolor and let guys like me help. Just jump in and encourage you to just be wild and do it, okay? So that's how that ought to be. I like this piece of music. Fern Skelly, welcome to the show this morning. Laura Abbott, I'm so glad you're on. Annette Henslin from way up in Bird Island. See, I remember you don't have to put it on your little name tag anymore. Linda Lidhart, thanks for being on the show. And Melanie Wilkes from Shellman Bluff, Georgia. I would remember that too. Deborah Lynn Tauber, Pat Thompson. Almost time to start harvesting. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you're getting into the fall. Somebody said the other day they were leaving the show to go cut silage for their cows. June Jones, welcome. Pat Lightbody, Wisconsin is watching you. The entire state of Wisconsin, I tip my cup. Love it, love it, love it, love it so much. Thank you all for being on the show. Alice Durham, always love to have you on. Lisa May, Jackie Wallace, Donna Buckley, Dolores Bolin, Linda Schleichning, which I love, Schleichning. She actually hyphenated it out for me one day. I'm still pronouncing it wrong, but man, I love that name. It's awesome. If my name was Schleichning, I don't know. I do a little lightning bolt on my paintings. Kimberly Marie, thanks for being on the show. Karen Miller, welcome. Linda Lawless, good morning from this is from Gray and Dreary, Wisconsin. Well, hey, I'm just talking to everyone in Wisconsin, so lighten up. You people are supposed to be smiling. You get cheese up there. Debbie Bennett, Sandra Comer, Lisa May, husband went to school in Menominee, Minnesota, where they drink pop. Kelly Berger, thanks for being on the show. Kelly, somebody sent me a picture the other day of the moose. He's out and loose. I love that. And Linda, I'm glad you missed the show, and I'm glad you're back. Jim and Jason, thanks for being on the show. Lynn Miner. Wow, so many people. There's Lisa Patricer, thank you for being on the show. Michelle, morning, beautiful people. And she means it. She's a cooking friend here at the house with Yaya, who is the gypsy, who is Crayola, who is Carol Ann. Sue Kane, good morning to you. And yes, mail is coming your way. Sue Kane from Southern Australia. Nancy Catlin, thank you for being on the show today. Just sent me an email. I've got that. Something coming to you. Patricia Evans, 14 miles on the seacoast of New Hampshire. Is that New Hampshire? Wow. Yeah, I know you're up that way. Happy to be back behind the mule. Karen Pikert, but Elaine Walker says that. All right. Janice Scott, thanks. Denise Albright, welcome to all you roosters. I love it very much. All right, here we go. Let's get started this morning. Let me pay something. Thank you guys for being on the show. I saw something I was going to jump to. Here it was right here. It said, Patricia, you visited the original mess store. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, the original mess store is in Valley Cruces. I was just there last month. It's really kind of cool, that old store. Valley Cruces is just a beautiful area in the mountains of western North Carolina. Just up near Boone, Blowing Rock. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Top of the morning to you all. Renee, thanks for being on the show this morning. All right, let's move ahead. People are piling on like crazy. Gracie, good to have you on the show this morning. All right, here we go. And Audrey Ginter from Little Falls, Minnesota. Send me some Verner's. No, don't really send me any Verner's ginger ale. I was just going to be funny there because I know what Verner's is. Hey, it's time for me to paint something. Let me just go. Let me get my head just a tad smaller here so you can see what I'm doing. Wow. Wish it were that easy in real life. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is Kilimanjaro paper. Take a look. It's 140-pound bright cotton. It's 100% cotton, bright white. I love bright white paper because watercolors just pop. My theme of roosters. Why do I paint roosters for all you new people on the show? Because his last name is German. It means rooster or proud rooster or funky rooster or some weird rooster or maybe just a rooster. But the point is, my grandkids call me Roo, short for rooster. And they are colorful, they're whimsical, they are the farm bard. And I love poems, I love words, I love stories put together with pictures and words. From noodle doodle fiddle piddle, everything is fodder for a story. And certainly paintings are fodder for a story. So if you're looking to figure out how you're going to tell a story, well, do both. Tell a story, shorten it, and tell it with a painting, or paint a painting and use it to tell the story. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I don't really know that, and who's counting that anyway? Who says that? You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. Those are the farm bards that say stuff like that. My point is, good paper, good paint, good brushes, good grief, be creative. That's what I say. That'd be a good rule right there, wouldn't it? Okay, good grief, be creative. Kathleen Johnson, welcome. All right. Yeah, John Robert Small, another storm bearing down on you guys. Man, I tell you just can't get out from under the sheet metal roof until another one hits you. Philip, thanks for being on the show. And Mary Quayle and Lina Couch. People are still piling on. And Pat from the Blessed Good Morning from sunny Brunswick, Georgia, where they make Brunswick stew. Okay, so I've taken Kilimanjaro paper, and notice I've got a 9x12 sheet here. Beautiful, pristine paper. Got a clean surface. I'm moving everything back a little bit, and I've reached for the P.H. Martin's not ink. I don't really like painting with, I like ink in my pens. I don't like to paint with ink paint. It just kind of gets too translucent and loose for me. I think it's beautiful if you're doing something behind something and you need to go for opacity. But for me, I just like those bold colors that go, painted something. That's just how I'm wired. What you need to do when you take my class, if you want to take the class, and there's one coming up in October, you can register now at roodoodles.com. If you want to take the class, what you do is you start with the things you have, but there's also a list on the page of what I use and the 6 or 8 colors that I'll be using. I've got more than that in my palette. Come on, who's kidding who? But really, if you see the ones that really have huge divots in them here, there's these colors, and I'll talk about the names of them, but that's not even important. Just get a color that you like. If you remember the name, that'll help you buy it next time. So you do keep a key somewhere. We'll talk about keys and color. I don't make a color wheel. You know, I don't have a color wheel that I look at and go, oh, look, this is opposite this color and this complements this color. Sometimes I paint a rooster and I'll go, that may not be the best color there, but you know, I've seen a rooster run around the yard with a yellow feather. And I'm going like, where did he get that feather? He's not a baby rooster anymore. And so my point is, make it work together as you see it in your mind. And I love it, the fact that you're taught well in art school, but sometimes you're taught to just hold on real tight and do things by the rules. And I say, take the rules and jettison them every now and then and just get loose and just be kind of raucous. Waste a little paint, waste a little paper, and have some fun. So watch this morning. I'm going to, haven't done one of these in a long time. They're really fun to do. So here we go. People say, I'm afraid of watercolor. Well, this will cure you from being afraid. Just get some liquid watercolor and just drop it on the painting. And these droppers, I'm gonna replace these bottles because this dropper is like, I think I would just probably replace the dropper. So let's see if this one works. Oh yeah, there's one right there. There's a drop. Looks like black paint coming to you, doesn't it? Yeah. Maybe just shake a little water on that. I'm using a Yasutoma brush. It's called the JB100. JB100. You know what JB stands for, right? I asked them. I said, hey, what's JB stand for? They said, Japanese brush. I said, oh my gosh, that's fabulous. All right, so here it is. It's the JB100. Just throw a little water on there like this. Just throw a little water there. And then I'm just going to pick this up. And I've got on a white shirt, a new one actually, but I'm just going to blow this a little bit. I think you can see it right there. You see that? Oh yeah, that's cool. There we go. Just give it a little toss, create some of that. And then with just a little of that water that I threw on there, I'm just going to dust this around a little bit right here. Let's get a little music going, I think. Oh, that's a little too, yeah, I could paint with that. So this will break you from being too tight with watercolors. Just throw some on the page and let it go where it needs to go. I'm gonna do the same thing right here with a little bit of water. Now I'm just painting with water here. There's a clean brush, clean water. Started with clean water this morning. Here we go. Clean water in a mason jar. Why do I paint in a mason jar? I don't know. They just feel like the South to me, you know? I just like mason jars. They're good full of iced tea. They're good full of, and they're good full of most things, you know. A Coke float. Whoa, baby! All right, let's do this. Let's drop a little bit of yellow on this. Watch this. Yeah, I love how this dropper's just doing exactly what I asked it to do. Are you kidding me? What's going on with the droppers this morning? Maybe because I haven't used them in a while. There's one, boom. There's another little drop right. Let's just drop one right there on its beak, and then one right there. That looks like not much paint, but watch this. If I turn it like this and just let it start to follow the water down. Look, see it? Just following the water. I'm just tipping the paint over and letting it just wash into where I put some water on the page. There we go. Look at that. I love it. I'm gonna grab another brush here and I'll drop this one in the paint. This is a number 8 American Journey nylon brush. I'm gonna just jump in here. It's a pretty big brush, but you know, you can paint with a big brush if you're not careful. All right, I love that. Look what happened right there. How about a little more water with this Yasutoma brush? Just drop in some in there. I think I'm gonna need a little red in this brew. John Robert Small says, painters have 2 kinds of clothes, those covered in paint and those about to be covered in paint. You know, brother, you are so right. Carol goes, do you have paint on your new shirt? And I go, it's old paint. So I've had this shirt for a while. That's how I always get around that, you know. All right, so here we go. Look, I'm taking this brush and you know, I just am joining this together. Take a look at that right here, kind of in here. And watch what happens if I touch a little of this red right here in this. Look what it does. It's just going to just move out a little bit. I got to get a little bit right there too. And then what's left of this brush, I'm just going to bang it right into here like this. Just put some spots in there. Let it start to do, and drop some more water in there. Just let the water take over. Notice where my green brush and my yellow paint ran together right here. See this little bit? I'm going to go in here, take a clean brush. I'm going to go grab some yellow just from the painting right here. I'm going to go grab a little blue from right here, and I'm going to create some of that green right here. I wanted that green to roll down. Here's the fact that people say, oh, you know, I'm going to need to get some green paint. I've got to have green paint for my painting. And I'm going like, you got green and blue. You've got the 3 primaries. which is the only colors that I've used so far this morning in this painting. So now there's a couple things happening here that I want to affect and change. I'm not painting on a tilted, I'm going to have to change glasses again. Those are slick. All right. That's what happens when you have long hair. Okay, so by the way, that other pair of glasses just holds my hair back out of my eyes. Now, so what I'm going to do here is that's a little more red paint in this painting than I want. See right here? So I'm going to come in with this paper towel, and I'm just going to do one little erase job right here. Touch it, pull it up there. There it is. I just erased that. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take a little roll of tape. This roll right here, I'm going to drop it down, and I'm going to I tilted my paper up just a little bit toward me because I want this paint to continue to start down the page this way. I don't want it to roll back toward his head. I'm done with that, okay? So I'm going to put a little bit of this blue-green right here and maybe just tap a little more of that green in there. I like that green. I like it a lot. Okay, so let me go in here. We've got a big brush, but look at this. I'm just using the point of it. This is what I like about bamboo brushes. Even though they have this big old fussy looking mop head on the end. See this right here? See that? This is a this is a CC2 Yasutoma brush, but watch, when I dip this in the water and I bring it across the cup like this, or across my water dish. This one hasn't been wet in a long time. I haven't used this brush in a while, but take a look right here, what's going to happen. Look at the point of that brush. You see how perfect that is right now? And I can actually drag it and shape this brush, and I can do some crazy things with these brushes. Sometimes don't be afraid to touch the brush. If I wanted to do some grass down here, maybe I can remember to show you that later. I'll spread the brush out like this, and then I just come in and pick up a little of this green right here and just sort of brush some grasses in. Look at that right there. You see how that worked? You know, you're thinking, oh, I got to take a little brush, I'm going to put grass in. No. Just spread the brush out with a damp, spread it out like this. Reach in, get some of this beautiful green right here. Where'd you get that green? Oh, it came from that blue up there. Just come in, look at that. Ta-da! Wash that brush out, put it back in. I just wanted to show you the control you have over brushes. So people who are afraid, that means you just haven't spent enough time with your tools. Come on, you're not afraid of a wrench. You should be afraid of a crescent wrench because it adjusts to so many things, and they're called knuckle busters. Use the right tool for the right project, unless you're watercoloring. Then it doesn't matter. Just grab a tool you like and go at it. I want to grab some of this blue paint right here, though, and come in right here. Just pick up a little more. And I think I want another touch of red. And I'm going to go up here in the comb. Just roll my brush around in the comb a little bit right there. See that? There's plenty of red up there. It's still loose and lucid, as they call it. I'm going to come in here like this, and I want to get in here and just come down with some of that. I need a little red in here just to highlight. He's been to one of those county fairs where they weave a feather in your hair. You don't think I don't get out and around? Come on. Okay, Carol and I, look at that purple that just showed up. Is that cool? All right, so what I got to do now is I got to grab some of this red right here and some of this yellow. There it is right there. I'm just going in and I'm using my bird. I'm using the roaster as a form of a palette. And I'm going in here to get enough of this color, enough of this red. Need a little more red there. There it is. There's too much. Come in here and get this out. And I'm using this for his feet. Look at that. So now it looks like all my colors came from the same palette, because guess what? They did. This is my palette right here. And so now I'm just taking the end of this little brush and I'm just feathering this out a little bit. You realize I sketched this with a pen. Well, of course I did, because I wanted it to be so detailed. No, I didn't really. But I wanted to have an outline of where I was going to go. And so what I've wound up with is this beautiful looking watercolor rooster that needs something. And what does he need? I think he needs, but so far I haven't dipped into any of my other paint. I haven't gone over here to this palette at all. All I've put in are these three colors right here. This Gamboge Hydrus. It's liquid watercolor, not alcohol, liquid watercolor. This is Gamboge, okay? Gamboge. This is Ultramarine, which I think is my favorite blue of all time. It's deep when I want it, but look, a little more water, and I'm going to get a cobalt look. I'm going to get an opal look. Yeah, I'm going to get an indigo look. And, of course, what I call permanent red. And so for me, that's as close as I can get to what might be called Joe's Red or Hot Mama or something from American Journey. But I love these paints. Sometimes I keep two other paints in there, and I'll show you. I'm going to introduce one more in just a second. I think there's a little in here. This is Carbon Black. Carbon Black. And this, of course, is Titanium White. And I'm going to set that aside because I think I'm going to use it in just a second. But right now, there's a couple things that are happening. Remember, I tilted my paper up. Okay, I tilted the paper up to let it just ooze down this way a little bit. I think that's an official watercolor term, ooze. Yeah, just ooze down this way a little bit. And look what's happened. I've had this little bit of red, blue. I've had a little bit of the yellow, green. Remember, I didn't have a green, but all the colors are converging to this one spot right here. And now you'll see there was a little thinking ahead because I've done this before. What's going to happen is those colors converge here and they create this brown bottom end that I like in my roos. I like it looks like they've been asleep under the tractor or they've laid down in the dust. And so I sort of like that. So now I'm done with that. In fact, I'm going to widen it out a little bit. So I'm going to tip it back the other way just a smidge. But I don't want to take up those holidays. Remember what I call a holiday? Holiday is the, I'm going to put this right here too, because I've spilled paint. It's hard to believe I've spilled any paint, but I did. And I have a little bit of that brown from down here, and I'm going up into the comb, and I'm just touching it right in here to give a little bit of shadowing emphasis in here. And I want a spot of it right there, okay? This paper, from my view, you probably can't see it. It looks completely flat, but if I had a camera down here on it, you would see a little bit of undulation in it. It looked like the golf course at the 16 at the TPC. Yes, I've been there. And so it rolls over, but it's going to just frame very nicely and go down. So in this case, I'm going to tip it up one more time and just over, and I'm watching this brown roll in here on the bottom end. So I'm controlling where I want some of this paint to go, the pigment to go and lie on this paper. This looks real erratic. Well, look, you know, they say people start looking like the animals that they reflect in the dogs. Well, look at my hair, okay? Maybe that's why the grandkids call me Roo. I don't know. Maybe it is. But so here's what I want to do. I want to take my pen now, and I'm just going to add in some cool pen markings. And I'm going to put the veining in the feet. And just some little crosshatch veins. I want to put a toenail right here, a toenail right there. Put that one in the wrong place, but nobody's going to argue with it. You know, they're going to go, oh, I'm not buying that rooster because the toenail's in the wrong place. Dadgummit. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of dirt down here. Let's see. And so I'm going to use this for the dirt, okay? Rinse my brush out. Remember this bottom line? I had a little chocolate in it here where everything's just piled up. I'm going to use that to come in here because it's got a little bit of a green-brown tint to it. And I'm just going to come in here like this. And then I need to add a little touch of blue to that because I want some shadow down here, like so. So I love this. I want you to try this sometimes of just using 3 colors and enough water to make that colors your palette. It'll be something that we play with this year in October again in the class. I think it's going to be fun to do, but I haven't done it in a while. I just wanted you to see it. Every now and then I'll just stop and I'll just, what will I do? Sop. That's a Southern word. Let me just teach you another Southern word since I was talking about biscuits and cookies. When you use a biscuit to put your gravy over, good sawmill gravy, but not sausage, bacon, yes, for me. And then you use that extra biscuit for honey, but you use a little piece of biscuit left to sop up the extra gravy. You just sort of use it as a sponge. And so what I'm doing, I'm using this as a sponge, and I'm just picking up a little bit of this deep blue paint right here, just a touch of it on this brush, and that's probably way too much. In fact, I'm not even going to use that brush. I'm going to switch brushes on you, and I'm going to go to this number 8 brush here. Kind of a patted dry 3 times. Watch this. This is not a rule. There's no rules when I do this, but this is sort of how I clean a brush. Can you see the water sitting right here? I just sort of dip it in, and then I go 3 times. Why do I do that 3 times? And this brush was dirty, by the way. It had a little green in it. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Now it's coming out clean. 1, 2, 3. That's a damp enough brush for me to work with, unless I'm moving a lot of water in. So I'm going to grab this. Just roll a little bit of this blue on this right here. just rolling my brush. I'm actually turning it like this. Look. The sound effect helps you looking through the camera. Then I'm going to take another pencil. I'm just going to take a pencil, and I'm going to go out here, and I'm just going to do some Margie splatters around here. I didn't see Margie on the show. She probably is. I just missed this morning. Just a few little things like that. Now I'm going to put some cross-hatching down in here with my pen. Pen is where I'm going to pull that other color from. You're going like, well, you're getting some other colors in there. You're not just using, hey, it's a free color. It's like a new car. It's a free color. You get to use your pen anytime you want. You get to use anything anytime you want. There's no rules. I'm just doing this because sometimes look at the colors that have popped out on this. It is a plethora of a rainbow, and I've just used these three colors. My red, permanent red, ultramarine blue, and Gamboge yellow. You choose any of those shades you want, but those are your primaries always, okay? So that's the only thing I know about the color wheel. That's not the only thing I know about the color wheel, but that's the only thing that I actually use on my desk for the color wheel. Now, what I'm doing is, thank you, John Robert Small. You're most kind, buddy. Underpainted. Excuse me. Thank you, Renee. I think he's a handsome Roo. But look what I'm doing now. I've got a little bit. It's time to go back to the art store and get some titanium white. So I'm introducing a new, maybe. Oh, yeah, I got a little bit in here. All right. I'm just going to introduce a little bit of titanium white. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. All right. That's like one of those little toys you do for kids. All right, so here we go. I'm in a rare form today. I'm just kind of crazy. All right, here we go. Look at this. I'm going to hold this up about 10 inches away. I'm about 10 inches off the art, and I'm just going to squeeze a little drop and see if I can get it to land right there. I want a little drop of titanium white to land right about there. If I hit here, I'm not going to go, oh no, I've ruined the painting. I'm not going to care. I'm just shooting for this area right here, okay? This is like, I'm just getting a little drop. I don't see if the drop's going to come out. Oh, perfect. All right, here we go. Little drop. Here we go. And watch it, see if it hits in the right place. Oh, I liked it. Then I'm going to drop a little piece right here. Nope, not enough in the I'm running out. And then I want to touch it right here and here. And then I'm going to grab the itself, and I'm just, nope, no, I'm not squeezing it. I'm just letting it just sort of drop out a little bit. Maybe, no, I'm going to quit. You got to know when to quit. You got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. I'm just going to dance this in. I just wanted a lighter spot right there, and I wanted a little bit of sunspot hitting on his comb there. And build this build up just a little bit. Oh, perfect. Put his bottom lip in. And some grass sticking up there. And, man, I love it. Isn't it fun to see what happens with just three colors? Come on. You need a bullseye, Pat said. Yeah, I could paint it. I could get a little target and lay it on there. But actually, here's the thing about me. You know, it's a little bit like horseshoes. Close is good enough. And that's within the shoe's breadth. That's some good hot tea. Okay, so there we go. He's really awesome. He's got he's got a lot of space. Probably what I'd do is I'd cut this piece off. I let him run over here really close. So I might do the same thing on the other side and I might just create a little bit of sky. Watch this. I'm gonna take a piece of tape. Take a piece of artist tape. You know why they call this artist tape? Because right here in the middle of it, see right there? It says artist tape. Man, you learn so much on this show, don't you? All right, take a look. Look at this. I'm sticking it to my shirt right here. Somebody's sending me a Southern Living biscuit recipe. Sandra, don't do it on this page, but thank you. All right, here we go. I'm going to turn this right here, and I'm going to come in. See, I've got this piece of tape. I stuck it to my shirt to get some lint on it, so I take out some of the adhesive. And I'm thinking, you know, in most cases I'd paint something over here, but I think I want to crowd this root just a little bit about right here, because I'm going to probably put the caption right. I don't even know where I'm going to put a caption. I'm going to come in about right there. Let's see. Let me make it easier on the framer. Why am I going to do that? So I have a tape up here. I have a measuring tape without knocking everything off on my desk. Oh, yeah. Let's see. This paper. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I'm going to come out to 10 inches. So that'll be good right there. So it'll be there. So this will be 9 by 10. There it is right there. And it'll just mat and frame really well right there. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this piece of tape down right there. And I'm also going to put on one more little piece. So I'm going to just rip off a little short piece right here. Stick this to my shirt right there. Just pick up some of the cotton off my shirt so it doesn't stick too well. Or stick too well. I don't want it to stick too well. And I'm going to put this piece right here, just half on, half off. What am I doing here? I'm just going to build a little bit of a skyline corner just in this painting. This is how it looks like you were planning the whole time. Did I just say that? Yes. Did I plan where this rooster would be? No, I just dropped the paint and blew it and let it go. So now I'm making a plan, but I've made it crooked. And that's going to bother me a little bit. For all of you people who don't like crooked paintings, there was a crooked man. All right, that's better right there. That's a little better right there. Okay, so then we're going right here. And then we're going to go right here. That looks better. Okay, so what I've done now, that still doesn't look good. Okay, that's perfect right there. Okay, I'm going to do it now whether it's ready or not. Okay, I'm going to go get a little bit of water and just bops it in right there. Just a touch. I'm going to go over here and see if I still got a little bit of, right here, I think I still got some blue. Look at this. There it is. See that blue just dancing there like this? Get a little off this tail right here. And just bring it in. See what I did? I just went through a little bit of that red. That's going to be awesome. It's the only time I grab a little bit of this orange right here. Now I got to go back in and touch that red just a touch right there. Okay. I'm just going to drop some of this other color in like that, just around the page. And then I'm just going to rip this tape off. There it is. That gives me just a little square corner up there. And that's probably where I'll cut this root. See that? I'll just probably cut him down here like this. And then I'll give him a caption. I will take my Sure Hit Songwriter's pen, which hasn't worked yet. Almost a couple times. Roodoodles.com. Michael 21. There it is right there. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to do a little bit of detail with this pen. Look, I'm just letting it dance right here. It got quiet in here, didn't it? I need some music. How about something really different? Good thing I didn't have that on. I would have painted this rooster completely different. Look what I'm doing. I'm just doing these little cuts across here, which amazingly look like a little bit of a rooster hackle. And I'm just going to dance over them with a damp brush and soften the lines up. The advantage to a pen that bleeds going back over watercolor is you can take out the hard line by wetting it a little bit. And you went, no way. Okay. Now I need to go in here with this, and this is a number 7 Pentel liquid gel ink. I've started these 364 363 days ago. I'm doing, see, tomorrow will be 364. Saturday will be 365 hours of painting different watercolor online where I've done 1-hour shows. I'm going to throw myself a little birthday cake on Saturday, I think. I think I'm here. Been traveling on Saturdays and doing some crazy stuff. Supposed to have been gone this week, but I decided to paint and stay here. I need a little bit of yellow. See if I can conjure up a touch of yellow here, right here, just to wake it up a little bit and put it on this toe. See, got it. Still haven't gone back to my normal palette. I've not reached over here. Okay, All right, so there's my Roo. There he is. I don't have a caption for him yet, but by golly, I'm going to get one. I'm going to turn him up like this and let this water that I just put on there run down a little bit. Let him just dry out. You see what happened to the white right here? It lightened that tail up and gave me some shadowing. I just drug it up through there. I get this bleed that I wouldn't get if I tried to brush it in. I could use a cloud brush. I could use a spray. I could use a brush that looks fancy schmancy. I didn't need to. I just took the edge of the dropper and while it was damp, drug it through the wet paint. And look what happened. I get this little cool little veining in here that just takes off. Okay? Happy birthday early. You people are nuts. I love it. You love it. This is the greatest community. I'm telling you. It's a great community. All right. Yeah, youngster, 360 something hours. Okay, so there we go. So I'm done. I'm finished. I just let it alone. Now I put it down. If you keep messing with it now, I'm going to make a mud pie out of my biscuit batter, and I don't like to do that at all. Okay, Jessica Miller, same for me to join the Happy Roo. Thank you. I'm glad I'm still here too. I appreciate it. And it's Saturday, I think, is my 365th hour. Close enough. And sky colors are beautiful. Isn't that funny how that turned out? Just I picked up a little bit of red from here and just let it brush over. And then I took some yellow from here and you just put it in there and you go, that's a good afternoon sky. And so it works. Artist tape. And the reason, why do I use artist tape? Somebody wants to know why I use artist tape. And here's the reason. You know, it's just one thing I was taught in a class one time years ago, about 12 years ago, I guess. I was in this little art class, and so we were taping some things down, and a lot of the people had. I had some white artist tape because I just happened to have some in an old bag here from a couple projects, and I like it. And so the guy walks by my desk and he says, "Okay, this is a roll of blue masking tape. Good tape. It's what you put on the wall when you're painting." So it makes perfect sense. You would put it on your paintings when you're painting. But in this case, he said, I like using white tape. So he holds my roll up and he holds the other one up. And he says, I like using white tape because here's why. If you have blue tape on the painting, and I don't have any up here right now. If you have blue tape on the painting, do I have any? I don't think so. When you go to paint blue next to it, it affects how your eye sees the blue. It affects the shade. It's like when you go to a paint store to buy a color for your wall and you come home and you realize, wow, this was supposed to be much lighter. And yet I get it here and it's darker. And the reason is because they were showing it to you through 56K lights in a test booth with everything pristine white. You got it home and you've got a light in the center of the room. It's incandescent. It's 120 or 60 watt. And you got a shadow that's cast across the wall and you go, oh, that's a darker corner. So it affects how you see shades or shading or contrast. And so white tape, sometimes for me, takes that out. So I'll know the color I see here against the white tape is going to be the color that you get when you see the piece of art or later after it'll dry a little differently, and all paint does, but I think you catch my drift there. So if I had blue paint there and I went, ooh, that's too dark, or that's not dark enough, and I kept putting it in darker, I pull the tape up and I go, well, that's way too dark. And so, and by the way, 3 colors, all the colors in this Roo, nothing was painted out of here this morning. Not one time did I reach over. Yeah, maybe I did. I started to. I actually aimed at the orange and I went, oh no. And I went back up here, got some red, and I pulled some yellow out of this and put it back in. So because you get in the habit of doing that. It's not like I've broken some code. I just was trying to say, every now and then, just try a painting with 3 colors and you'll realize that that'll help you as you're in your bug out bag when you go out and do journals. So Carol and I are taking very small palettes to Maine. Where, in fact, Ida, who's on the show, sent me the most beautiful little, I don't even see it right now. I laid it over there because I'm getting ready to load it. She sent me a little palette that's this big, and I'm going to, it has a wire ring on the back, and it slips over your finger so it rests in your hand. I got to see if I can find it. Can you give me just a second here? Let me see if I can find it, because you need to see this. I think I took it downstairs because I'm going to load it with some cool paint. Sorry, don't see it. It's with my other painting gear. I don't think I put it in my bug out bag yet. No, hadn't loaded it yet. But I'll show it to you. It'll be fun. Once I get all packed up for Maine, I'll show you what I'm taking, because we're going to be away from any art stores. I'm sure there are art stores there, but the point is I'm going to be away from my art store and also from my supplies. So I'm just going to take things. And in most cases, I'm going to have my primaries. I'm going to have a blue. I'm going to have an indigo. I'm going to have just some beachy colors. And we also have another palette that I bought just for Carol, because her palette is different than mine. She paints with, she loves ultramarine blue, but she likes about 16 shades of blue. She likes cobalt. She likes indigo. She likes, what's it called? Cerulean. I try not to use colors that I can't spell. So, which is red. It gets past red, I'm pretty much out of luck. All right. Excuse me. All right, so there's the Roo that's painted on Kilimanjaro bright white, and that's what he looks like. I like it. I like it a lot. Just enough mess to make me happy and look like one of mine. I'm going to do a caption right here, maybe just across here. He may just come up with one line, and he's looking back and he's trying to decide if they're coming or going, or if he's going to have to go back, or did he leave something he needed? I don't know. Let's paint one more thing and then I'll be out of here this morning. Kind of a fun show, huh? Thank you, Sky. I love the sky too. Turned out. Carol Todd Mundy, hello to you. It just sounded like a roo-poo. I'm not sure what that is, but okay. Michelle, you are funny. Hubby's washing her car, maid's cleaning her house, and she her feet propped up watching Roo with a cup of Life is Good. Oh my gosh, you are one crazy woman. I love it. Thank you, Bonnie McGee. Thank you very much. I love it. A ton of parts. Paint stores should have a box of different colored lights so you can see swatches in different lighting. Yeah, that'd be a great tool. Hey, here's our store. Here's what your house looks like. Okay, I want oatmeal raisin cookies. Okay, Pat, I'll send you one, but it's not going to be too fresh when it gets there. Okay. You guys got me laughing this morning, though. I got my art supplies at Bar Harbor, 100-year-old Sherman's bookstore, back right corner, sketchbooks. Okay, you know what? I'm going to be in Bar Harbor, so Pat, I will go to, I'm writing it down right now. All right, I'm making a note. Here we go. Da, 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 da. It's called Sherman's Bookstore. Sherman's Bookstore. Okay. All right, I got it. All right, I just wrote it down. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you something else. Let me put a little piece of music. I want to show you something, okay? Give me just a second here. Just all over the place this morning, but when have I not been ADD, okay? Or fast brain. All right, I got to show you something just for fun here. This is worth looking at. A friend, I think I said this, a friend is a flight attendant, and she was in, Carol helped with their wedding, and I shot some video, and I don't shoot videos of weddings, but I just shot something fun while I was sitting there. Nobody said, oh, we need this video shot, so it wasn't a paid gig. It was just one of those things where you go, I'm going to do this and put it together for friends. And but she's a flight attendant, and she did a 24-hour layover in Paris just a couple weeks ago, and so she came back and she dropped these things off for Carol and me. We each got one of these. So this is my little notebook that I'm taking. Beautiful white. Oh my gosh, like 38-pound paper in this little book. Is it not? It's the company is called Charvin, Charvin. They're an art store in Paris since 1830, and this is just one gorgeous. It's the main thing. I'm getting ready for Maine, so I painted a little, just a little lobster here with the fountain pen. This is just a little pad that I'll probably take. I'm taking my other journal. This is the paint, and this is the one that Carol will be taking. And I'm taking one like this that Irma sent me, and look, see it has a little ring on the back. See this right here? Is that cool? That just slips right over your finger like this. So when you're painting out plein air, as they say, you can stick it on your hand like this. I can put my paper towel right here. Oh my gosh, look at this. Open this up. And then there, I'm ready to go. And I'm not going to let it fall or let it slip out of my hand. Is that kind of cool? So these are Carol's palettes. I think I have a darker red. But I'm not taking all these. I'm going to switch some of these out. But this is the lady in Paris. She said, hey, they're going to the coast and the harbor to sketch some. And so the lady in Charvin in Paris helped her load these paints in here. She said, oh, choose this one. And all these just pop out. This is really cool. These things just come out of here like this. And these are little half pans, just like you have been loading in your little boxes. See, all those are loose. And this little spring-loaded piece of steel holds them down in there right like that. Is that pretty cool? So there's the little, and this box here is to just mix in the lids, but you know, I mostly mix on the paper, just prove that right there, right? So anyway, that gives you a little idea of, and she sent this too, and we don't really know what it is. It's not a tiddlywink, but actually the only thing we've discovered that it really is a brush rest. So you can lay your brush down and it won't roll off the edge. Is that cool? And there it is right there. And so keep it off your paper. So I think that's what that is. Other than that, you could probably put a mint on it on your pillow or something. I don't know. But anyway, it came with a little notebook like this. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Dear friends, really awesome. Comes in this little pouch, which is a little small for me because my brushes don't fit. That's why I have a bigger bug out bag because I like to pack stuff in there. So that's just how I work, okay? All right. But I wrote down Sherman's Bookstore. Thank you, Patricia Evans. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry your feed keeps freezing up. Amazing how much color you can tote around in a tiny little box. Yeah, isn't that amazing? And for some water, you know, here's the thing about water. You know, wherever we go and whatever we do, you know, I carry a water bottle with me, but I like plastic water bottles. One, because we recycle, but the other thing is I will just take a plastic water bottle lots of times, and I'll finish the water, or I'll just take it like this, and I'll puncture it with my knife, and I'll split it off just like this right here. And there's my water container for me to paint in. And if I want to paint in another one, I can just set this up in my box or whatever I have, or in my edge of my bag. And so the point is, I have a foldable one, but look, I don't want to carry everything. So I just grab a paper cup or my coffee cup, or I paint out of my teacup. This is a great idea for painting watercolor. Glad I didn't see that water in there. I'd have spilled it all over me before I finished this morning. So it's, you know, when you're on the road, I have to throw that over there before I throw it down. When you're on the road, you just have to make it work. So coffee cups, paper cups are great for that. And but also a little metal cup, and I carry a little metal cup with me sometimes that you may remember I took by mistake, and I promise it was, but I'm not taking it back, from the Greenbrier. It's just a little sauce cup that they brought me a little bit of syrup in one morning for a touch of a waffle that came with my breakfast. And so I said, hey, I'm going to borrow this. I'm going to go down on the creek and paint. She said, fine. And so I put it in my little bag, and then I forgot to take it back into the kitchen. And so, but you know, it cost all of 13 cents, and I think my room was, I don't know, $700 or $800. So, hey, I think I paid for it. All right, it's time to do, as we say, we don't drink the water here. Lordy, lordy, lordy. All right, I got a few minutes left this morning, about 2. So let me show you what I'm still working on, and then I'll see you here tomorrow morning on Tuesday. Look, this is what I've been working on since, remember I told you before I went to Maine, I was going to paint a lobster. And by the way, I've sent Tom another note up there in Orr's Island. We're going to try and meet with Tom just real quickly. There's crab in here, which I think looks like Yoda if you're a Star Wars fan. But this is one of my first ones here. Actually, no, this was my first one here, just in this book. There. Oh, no, it's crab. I thought I did one. Oh, yeah, there's a big old long one laying out here like this. And some bees. And I said, okay, this is going to be my lobster book. And I got to here, and I painted this boat. Then I started, no, it don't taste like chicken. Some of you have seen these. So then I just started doing them, and I'm working with these new pens that I have. The pens are this Preppy pen. It's a Preppy fountain pen, and so that's just with this pen and a little shading. There's no color in that at all for any of these. This one was with the Kakuno pen. There it is, fountain pens. So I'm getting better. This one with a little color, and this one and this one. So I think right now I'm up to this book, and then the other ones that I've done on just palettes and pieces. And there's a little one just with flare pen. There's one that was the YMCA, hey, stop singing Bobby's in the Trap painting. There's one where I did a lighthouse, but the lobster's eating the lighthouse. There it is right there. That's Headlight in Cape Elizabeth, Portland. And then, of course, there's one. And so that's kind of what I get into when I do this crazy thing. So I've gotten down a little bit on how to paint lobsters, and just to give them that little bit of that look that I want them to have. And it's really not as hard as I thought it was going to be. I'm learning now how to sketch them as fast as I sketch shrimp sometime. And so it really is fun, and I'm learning, and I'm doing it, and it's every day is a lesson to be learned somewhere, somehow. And so there's a little lobster right there, and I just grab a big old, let's just grab a smaller brush just so you can see what I'm doing. Grab a little brush, maybe put a little bit of this ink right here on this side. Watch this, if I touch some little dots in here, come in just a little bit. I'm just moments away from saying goodbye, but watch this, come in, just let that carbon ink just sort of fade in like so. Look at that. Give him a little rest right here on this side, and then let this come down. And there's a little lobster for you right there. Simple as that. Woohoo! All right. So I'm going to keep painting those. Here's the Roo. I'll probably post him out there today on just a little bit of an auction or something. He's kind of a fun, big old Roo, and he needs to say, come on, people, it's fall. Get those rakes moving. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to say something. I'll create that. And thank you for being on the show. Don't be afraid of watercolors. Don't be afraid of using a new brush. Don't be afraid of a new attack. Don't forget, you can buy the book called Noodle Doodle Fiddle Piddle on Roodoodles.com. Pat and I put that together. You can buy the new coloring book called Roobots. You can buy the old book that's called Hey Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow? And read it to your kids, your grandkids, or just a neighbor on the other side of the fence. My point is, be creative and sign up for the October class. It's called Roo 857. There's information on Roodoodles.com. Thanks for being a part of this show. Thanks for liking the show. Thanks for sharing the show. And I'm grateful to you all. Blessings to you. And I'll see you in the morning, Lord willing. I'm out of here. Always go out on a piece of music, and this is mine.